So in this next series of Devos, we'll be exploring what it means to love. So what does it mean to love God with all your heart? What does it mean to love God with all your soul, with all your mind, and with all your strength? What does it mean to love your neighbor as yourself? Well, one question at a time, and we'll answer them all in due time. But for now, love the Lord your God with all your heart. So the heart is widely used as a metaphor for different meanings. Some famous examples include, you broke my heart, listen to or follow your heart, having a change of heart, having a heart to heart, knowing something by heart. And this clearly isn't an exhaustive list, but I think you get the point. Essentially, the heart is commonly used to figuratively refer to your seat of emotion, which kind of goes back to the idea that love is all about feelings and emotions, but it's not. Ask any married couple and they'll tell you that they don't always feel the love, and sometimes the other person can just straight up get on their nerves. That's why love shouldn't be based upon feelings and emotions, because again, those things change, and you don't want the foundation of your relationship to be built upon something that is so fickle and fleeting. Now, let's take a look at how the Bible utilizes the metaphor of heart. The Bible says that the heart is deceitful above all things, Jeremiah 17:9. Take away your heart of stone and give you a heart of flesh, Ezekiel 36, verse 26. Blessed are the pure in heart, Matthew 5, verse 8. They honor me with their lips, but their hearts are far from me, Matthew 15, verse 8. And of course, the originator, love the Lord your God with all of your heart, from Deuteronomy 6, verse 5. All of these are a metaphor for will, desire, motive. Essentially, by loving God with all your heart, you are saying, God, I give up my will and accept yours. I relinquish my desires to fulfill yours. And the motive behind what I do will be centered upon giving you the utmost praise and glory. Okay, so that all sounds good and all, but how can we actually apply this to our lives? Well, think about what is your heart's desire. Maybe you want to be a doctor or an engineer. Maybe you want to start your own business. Maybe you want to start a ministry. Maybe you want to just be debt-free and become wealthy. Maybe you just want to settle down, find a spouse, and start a family. Whatever it is, be honest with yourself and ask, why do I desire this? What is my true motive? See, God has no problem giving you the desires of your heart. But first, we must ask ourselves, okay, say I do become debt-free and wealthy. How will God be glorified in my finances? Say I do land my dream job. How will God be glorified in my position? Say I do fill in the blank. Is this something that I'm doing just for me to fulfill my own goals and my own desires? Or am I factoring in God's will and God's desires? The biggest difference between being single and being in a relationship is that when you're in a relationship, you can't just do things on your own accord anymore. You have to factor in the other person. Especially if you got kids, forget about it. Your life is definitely not your own anymore. And this is no different in your relationship with God. So ask yourself, how much does God's will and God's desire factor in to decisions that you make in your life? So to love God with all of your heart means to factor Him in, and at times maybe even surrender your will, your desires, in your motives to Him. And then God will gladly grant you the desires of your heart. As always, think on these things.